Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Carrick, so we're going to be doing another SWOT analysis, this time as Congo. Of course, Congo is famous for the African Power achievement, where you take over all of Africa as Congo. Congo is actually a very powerful nation in its region for sure, and what we're going to be doing during this SWOT analysis of Congo and Europa Universalis 4 is we're going to be going through, looking at the situation, devising a plan, looking at our economy, production, trade, and all sorts of things, and basically setting up Congo so that we can do some opening moves and execute a little bit on our plan, and just kind of get a sense of what's going on, what's our situation in the world, and how do we get off to a good start as Congo. So let's get right into it. Congo has 2 vassals at the start of the game, which is pretty cool. Congo, and that really makes Congo significantly more powerful than any of these other countries. We're all fetishists down here, which is also pretty awesome. But you can see all these little guys here, just like 2-3 province miners, a little 1 province miner here, and then we have we're pretty beefy on our own. Like we're the most powerful just on our own, highest development country down here, and we have the 2 subjects. In fact, these subjects I think we can use quite effectively. Let's actually go over right away and actually mark the land here as desirable. So let's go into our show diplomatic feedback, click this, say we want this. And click this and say we want all of this. And maybe this. And what this is going to do is this is going to tell our subjects, hey, get claims on these lands, right? We want these guys to get a claim on this guy. We want these guys to get claims out here so that we can actually be spreading their borders, and then we'll diplomatically integrate them and save on administrative power. Looks like we can pick a cult for our fetishist abilities here. Tolerance to the true faith. That's actually kind of nice because everything down here is fetishist, so that's going to be less unrest, which we're definitely going to have a lot of unrest when we conquer all this. Essentially, what we're trying to do as Congo is we're going to try to unify our area here. These areas are actually slightly disconnected. So around Lake Victoria here, this is disconnected from this down here. And you can see this province right here really joins all this together. There are missions, I believe, once you have, or events, I'm sorry. There are events that let you colonize these areas to branch across to actually start working in these areas and taking these lands. Once you're closer, you'll get little events will pop up that will let you colonize these bits, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we actually can't get over to the eastern coast of Africa until we actually get to that point. So really, these are 3 isolated areas actually in many ways. Although these people are aware of us, so I guess they'll be angry with us if we go on a rampage. But I think even these areas are decently isolated from each other, even diplomatically. So it looks like we're going to want to probably attack the 3 nations that we're next to. Who could ally us that's maybe a little bit deeper down? It could be kind of nice to attack or ally someone that we're not going to be attacking for a while. Like these guys down here, like Luba. Actually, no, we're too powerful to rival anybody. And see, it won't let us rival Mutapa because they're just too far away, or Kilwa or something like that. So let's ally Luba just to get a few allies, just to buffer some of the aggressive expansion that we're going to be incurring down here. I'm just gonna grab a couple allies. We'll probably ally these guys too. Actually, do we have the relationship slots for that? Yes, I'll probably get these guys too, just to minimize how many people hate us, basically, as we push through here and try to stuff like that. But here, the extra discipline. Improved relations. I think we want the improved relations. We're going to be incurring a decent amount of aggressive expansion. But if we conquer all these guys, then it won't even matter, right? It won't even matter. I still don't think 2.5% discipline is going to be that good. This is going to be great either which way, I think. So the Europeans are going to be making their way down here probably at like 1510-ish. It's going to take a little bit for them to get down here. We might see them kind of here by the end of the century. We actually could get colonialism ourselves. It is possible. All we have to do is get exploration ideas and go across and essentially discover North America, and we'll be able to get colonialism to spawn here. This is what happened in our run that we did on the Twitch. So the reason why I wanted to come and do a SWOT analysis and then an opening moves video, sort of strategy discussion and stuff for Kongo, is because Kongo is actually a nation that I've already played, and we've gotten the achievement on Twitch. I just wanted to archive it on the channel. We did actually archive a final thoughts, a timeline and final thoughts for that campaign on the channel, but I also wanted to get just a little bit of a quick start guide on the channel too for people interested in the Kongo. Pretty popular nation just because of that achievement. A 162. I mean, technically, this is an average air, and actually, the Diplo is not that bad if we do end up going exploration ideas. However, I think we need to focus on admin so that we can actually get that unlocked, so that we can actually power up to exploration ideas. But having that extra Diplo actually won't be a bad thing. How old is our air? 5 years old. That's actually going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine. Economically, we don't have enough to hire any. Is this an actual fortification? No fortifications in Africa at all. So we're not paying any fort maintenance. We are paying a decent amount for the troops. I do typically like drilling the troops. I like drilling the troops. So that's something we could do. We could Royal Marry these guys to secure the alliance, or they might even send us an alliance. But yeah, we need to get claims on these two guys. So let's get a claim on Cuba for starters. How many more of these troops could we build? We have 4,000. We have the money to do this, actually. I'm almost kind of tempted to get rid of the cavalry, but I think just having 2 cavalry will actually give us an edge against some of these nations that either have 1 or none. In fact, I think this is going to be very easy because ever since Emperor came out, or was it even before Emperor came out, the AI tends to self-destruct their own armies. So I suspect that even the 5,000 here will probably go down to like 2,000 or 3,000. So and if we have 14,000 troops, yeah, this is going to be destruction. Congo's, again, like really it's just a matter of like how quickly can you conquer all this? How quickly can you conquer all this? How quickly can you conquer all this, right? To brace for the Europeans, because the nations down here really are not going to create much of an obstacle for us. We're going to seize back the Crown Land. That's a traditional start for the estates. What else can we do here for the estates? I'm going to hold off on these because we might want to get some stability. We might want to get some stability, and we're not actually going to be employing any advisors at the start. So we're not going to do any of those yet. Let's actually do an agenda here. Prestige of at least 30. We get 50 administrative for that. We might get this because we're going to be going to war, and we could try to do things strategically, specifically to get prestige. The other thing to consider is, okay, where is this? Is that our capital? MB. Where is this? Oh no, it's down here. Grain, no, we don't really want to boost production there. Pemba. We're definitely going to want to increase the base tax here. It says that we'll have until, yeah, so we're going to want to boost up Renaissance in our capital. So this is going to get done no matter what. But I'm thinking that's 50 extra admin. It's 50 extra admin. Now let's see if we can get to 30 prestige by winning a bunch of wars. I think we should be able to do that. We actually do start with a navy, which is interesting. Let's protect trade in the Ivory Coast. We are collecting. Actually, believe it or not, we don't collect in the Ivory Coast. We collect in the Congo. We're going to want to shift that to the Ivory Coast. Well, the Ivory Coast has an insane amount of bleed. Really what we're going to want to do is shift it to the Cape of Good Hope. Yeah. Because even Congo comes back down to that. Yeah, really what we're going to want to do is you want to have your trade post down here. Because this has very little bleed off. Great Lakes will come into here. I'm wondering if they're having the merchant up here. We might move the merchant over here. We'll have to see when we unpause the game in the next episode. We're not going to get any advisors, though. But I think the... yeah, basically our ships and things are doing the most that they can. We're not going to need these transports for a while. Let's do cogs. I mean, we can't even see Benin. So until we get an exploration unit, we're not going to be able to go up there at all. I don't even know. This will make the maintenance cost and future lightships cheaper. I think that's probably worth getting. Free enterprise is usually an easy one to just select and have going. I've been doing this more lately because people say that they like it, the supremacy over the tribal kingdom. It's just plus 10 and 10 for all of them. So it really gets that influence up. We don't need more diplomatic relations. Oh, that's actually an interesting idea for Congo. It could work, but I think the 2 vassals we have in like 1 or 2 alliances will be plenty. Right to council. Looks like the nobility influence is decently low right now, so let's stack them up. Having more manpower at the cost of a small amount of national tax modifier almost seems kind of appealing to me, but I think we might activate that later when they get more influence. We're not going to be fighting any heretics or heathens or anything like that. Is that really the only one we can do for these guys? Yeah, it looks like that's basically all we got for the clergy. They really need to come down here and they need to do a DLC for Africa, like a big one. They've done some free updates here. They've done free updates here, but they've never actually done a DLC. Am I wrong about this? I don't think they've ever done a DLC that's based on West Africa, South Africa, Madagascar, and so on and so forth. And even Ethiopia was just a free update. They have not done... the only DLC that even like covered North Africa would have been like maybe a trickle of Cradle of the New... a Cradle of Civilization and the immersion pack for Golden Century. They really need like a big fat DLC focused on flavor in Africa, like mission trees and flavor in Africa. I'm sure if I went and looked at our missions, it'd be just like the most generic stuff in the world. Yeah, generic missions, guys. I mean, at this point, we should be allergic to these things, you know? But that's just how it goes. We have a 50% tech penalty, because the truth is we haven't even gotten feudalism down here. Are we at least spreading feudalism ideas? No. No, we're not. Oh, man. We need to dev feudalism. We need to dev Renaissance. We need to dev... yeah, maybe even colonialism if we don't get lucky and spawn it down here. The good news is, though, we do have tons of really good land for developing. We have 5 provinces here. We have 5 provinces here that are grasslands and don't give us a local development penalty. So we should be okay, actually. You can see a lot of this over here is probably becoming more treacherous terrain, at least savanna at the very least, but there's some grasslands as we expand too. As I think for the most part, this might be Congo set up. Well, we could set these guys here. We can actually grant them claims too, so if we get a claim on these guys, we can just give it to this guy, which will probably make them happy. Let's make these guys... let's make them aggressive. We don't need them supporting our stack. Our stack is already going to be very powerful. Let's just make them aggressive. It almost would be nice if you could have the subjects support each other rather than support your troops. Oh, we need to roll a general as well. Fingers crossed. Ooh, wow, very good. Very good. I think we do drill because I think it'll still take a little bit of time for this to build up. Although we're getting 1.7 per month. So after a year, we should be able to declare war on Cuba. What do we have here, actually, even though these are generic? Force limit. We're building up to force limit, so we'll have that. Have 2 allies with 150 opinion of Congo. So hopefully we'll do that. That actually is going to be good because then that's going to tie into 15% cheaper diplomatic annexation cost. So this is actually really good. In fact, I think technically these missions are new since I even played Congo. High income. Is this for abolishing the slave trade, therefore reducing national unrest? I think this is something that happens much later in the game. And modernization, this happens later in the game. Collect a certain amount of gold provinces. Yearly inflation reduction. That's good. But it's only for 20 years. Okay, I think we could probably end up doing is I like the idea of doing exploration and trying to spawn colonialism in the Congo. And this just helps, I mean, economically, this just helps so much. It's not as good as expansion for quickly expanding, but it's it gives you the perk of being able to get to Brazil and actually set up a Brazilian Congo, which is kind of cool. A new Congo. And we don't really need the military might to be able to beat all the nations around us. We can literally, the only nation that could even challenge us right now, I think, is Kilwa. I mean, even technically, still we have a larger force limit than Kilwa. Now, it is worth noting that Kilwa does have feudalism, but the spread here is pretty bad. And I don't think it can spread there. So we are definitely going to have a little bit of a problem not even having feudalism under our belt at the moment. Congo gets trade efficiency and minus 20% land attrition, and we also get plus 30% improved relations at the end, which is just a really great stat. I'm a fan of it. Extra discipline in there, mixed in more trade, production stuff, diplomatic reputation, tax modifier. Not bad, honestly. Not the worst ideas. Although it really would be nice if Congo had a little bit more flavor. It would be really, really nice. What do we have here? Tribal monarchy, plus 20% income from vassals. A stateless society. Cautiously chosen not to organize into a state, preferring simple lives free from oppression, hierarchies prevalent in the lowland realm. Morale of armies plus 15%, fort defense plus 75%, governing capacity minus 99%. That sounds really interesting though, you know? I wish this did a little bit more, like it gave you development bonuses or something, because obviously you don't have governing capacity issues in your capital. This seems like it'd be kind of fun to play around with, but I don't think it would be for this run here. Because, you know, the achievement that we'd be going for with this run is to take over all of Africa, so. Core creation cost minus 10%, that's pretty good compared to the tribal monarchy. I haven't looked at these. These are all new since we did Congo. I don't know if I've done a tribal nation since then. So this is looking good. It's looking good. If we go to our, these guys are non-accepted cultures, but they are accepted. They're still in our group. Okay. I think we're basically ready to go, guys. We actually probably could get one single advisor, but once these 4,000 troops are built, that monthly income will go down to just barely positive. So guys, thanks everybody for being here and hanging out with us during the SWOT analysis, looking at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for the Congo. If you have questions, please ask down below in the comments and I'll make sure to answer them. Or if you just thought that these videos were interesting or anything like that, there's a playlist link down below for additional SWOT analysis videos and opening moves guides, quick start guides. And next episode, we'll actually unpause and we'll actually try to get into some wars and try to expand Congo and try to see where we can go and what can happen in the first decade of the game or so. So thanks everybody for being here. I'll see you guys in the next episode where we will continue on with the quick start guide that is Congo in Europa Universalis 4.